And in the top right corner, the blue Protoss from Poland, it is Gerald. Oh, we're up to a spicy start here. Cannon rush from the red Protoss player, KingCobra. We're gonna have to see what the reaction for Gerald is here. For the time being, pulling just a couple of probes, replying with his own forge. But yeah, for the time being, it's only cannons going down, so we're gonna have to see when the only pylons going down. We're gonna have to see when the first cannons come into play, and it's going to be right about now. And he has high ground vision with that pylon sitting on top of the ramp here too.
Yeah, are you really surprised though? This is this is how KingCobra killed Clem, I think. This is how KingCobra has a lot of his games, because cannons are a fun thing. That being said, Gerald is simultaneously probably the worst Protoss player to cannon rush against in Europe, and maybe also one of the best because he hates them. He hates running into cannons with with tremendous bias, and therefore Max Pax does it to him all the time in these little small cups, as teammates do. So, you know, on the one hand, he hates cannons, so that seems like it'd be a good thing to do. On the other hand, he hates cannons, so it seems like it would be a good thing to do.
For the time being, it looks like the cannon on the low ground won't have anything else to attack on the high ground. I don't think that cannon on the high ground is going to go up. Yeah, there we see the cancel. Oh, the cannon does actually reach the gateway, and there is a gateway from KingCobra on the low ground still. Oh no, man, that cheeky probe in the background. I'm not sure if Gerald is aware of it. He is producing an adept now, so it's going to fare well against the excuse me, zealot coming out of KingCobra, and the pylon in the back of the base has been spotted, so crisis averted there.
Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping we had like 5 cannons go down, you know, and just have it be totally unscattered. But so the point here of this adept is it really does a good job of dealing with the zealot that's going to come on out here, of course, because the zealot, yeah, the goal is not necessarily to get damage done. Necessarily, the goal of the zealot is to go, as a probably going to get pulled here, it's going to be some worker combat, but there we go, that's not going to work out anymore. The goal of the zealot is to sit right on that vision boundary, so you can provide vision on the high ground and make stuff happen, but now that's not going to happen anymore. We have a cannon and a Stargate coming on in at home, Vitamin. It's funny, most games when you cheese, the game is short, right? Because it either works or it doesn't. This is PvP cannon rush, and a field cannon rush makes the game go like 20 minutes longer.
Maybe. The thing for KingCobra is here, he doesn't have any units on the map right now. He had to full wall off his main base here, and with that adept and the stalker also heading across the map, he's not done with this, so he's going to rely on the Stargate producing a void right now to deal with just these 2 units, because he just doesn't have a gateway to produce out of. And I think Gerald, just by having that tech, just by having this pressure now, is in the position that he's okay. Yeah, he feels comfortable enough to just slap down that Nexus right next to the gateway that's still on the other side of the map for KingCobra. The Void Ray is out now, so the pressure probably is going to end with this. 2 Stalkers against that Void Ray, not a fight that you necessarily want to take if you don't know what else is behind that. Obviously, Gerald doesn't know, he can only guess. And yeah, we have 2 production buildings from KingCobra. We have a Stargate and a Robo off of 1 base, no gateway. As soon as this gateway is going down, there's also not going to be any further production buildings. So I'm curious where KingCobra is going to take this.
I mean, Void Ray Immortal against a bunch of Stalkers, that seems like a pretty solid composition for me. And I mean, look at army supply. It's 2... Because, you know, of course, Void Rays have insane army supply value. Yeah, we have 2 Void Rays out on the map, so it's 16 army supply there. But now that we're going to have the thick beam turned on here, it's an attempted Rotosis pylon. It looks like a Stalker comes on in from behind. But it's still 4 Stalkers here. 4 Stalkers against 2 Voids are, theoretically, if the Voids can turn their thick beams on, rather good. But otherwise, the Stalkers will win that one. But you know what? Void Ray Immortal, that's a valid composition, right? That seems good.
it is okay. It is something that some of the Russian protesters have done occasionally. I'm especially thinking of Hellraiser here, who's done it in a couple of the Open Cups. But having this off of one base, having this without shield battery support, it's just Stalkers here for Gerald. But I am. Was it me lagging?
No, I
wasn't.
too. But as long as the players didn't lag, it's fine. I guess there was just maybe some snafu from going from the Europe server to the Europe server. I don't know. What I do know is GG Gerald. He digs game number 1. Yeah, because it makes total sense. I mean, I would understand that, you know, I'm here in North America, on the East Coast. Sometimes, you know, the wires get crossed going across the Atlantic Ocean and things get weird. But, you know, Germany to whatever Europe, I wouldn't imagine would be causing some problems. So I don't know. Apparently, it didn't cause a problem with the players, so we're fine there. And yes, I do need a thank you. Now we're gonna get on into our second game of this series rather quickly. It is, of course, once again Gerald and KingCobra. So, Vitamin, cannons, no cannons, to be or not to be, to cannon or not to cannon. That is the question.
I think the cannon rush failed pretty miserably here from KingCobra on the first map. It is something that Gerald is well aware of that it could happen. I think if KingCobra chooses to do it again, I wouldn't be surprised to see it slap just as hard in the first map. So if I were in his shoes, I wouldn't call that the best strategic choice, but maybe that exact same thing makes it the best strategic choice. I wouldn't be a fan of seeing it again, but I'm not in the head of the player, and we could very well see it again.
Yeah, KingCobra, he's a notorious, absolutely notorious cannon rusher. So, you know what? We're just going to have to find out. But we're going to be able to find out rather quickly because, again, it's game 2. And in the upper right here, in the red, he's down 1 game in this series. But you know what? Cannons are forever. Just like diamonds is KingCobra.
And in the bottom left, convincing hold on the first map. Maybe, yeah, okay, we see a gateway, so heading into a more standard game this time around. From Poland, it is Gerald.
You know what? I think this is just going to be gate into cannon. I have nothing to bias this outside of the fact that this is KingCobra. Certainly, that probe is looking a little... No, okay, this is just the delayed scout. The probe was pausing there kind of out at the rocks for a second. I'm like, more gateways. But no. I got excited. Cobra has a bit of a reputation for being a rather cheeky man. But look at... okay, so he's got single gate. I mean, this gateway is... Yeah, no, he's got single gate, double gas. Is this like high ground single gate expand from KingCobra?
I'm a bit confused here as well. I was gonna say he's building a second pylon in his main base, which is not even proxying, but doing this of 1 gateway is just I'm a bit clueless. He's also building the zealot that is not going to fare well against any units that come out of the gateways here for Gerald. That's either going to be adepts or stalkers, and against neither of those the zealot's going to do anything against. We just got 1 gate Stargate off of 1 base. Gerald scouts it immediately, of course, because with this you don't really have a chance to deny the scout, and the zealot is maybe going to try and chase away the probe now, but probes are speedy boys and going to evade this. I'm not sure where KingCobra wants to take this. I guess he's heading on the robo, so he just wants to go for this this Void Ray Immortal style once again. But once again off of 1 base, it's crazy to me.
Hey, you know what? Well, he does have a pylon down the low ground, so he may be going for some semblance of a 2-base setup eventually. It will be Oracle first, and there is a style that is actually really strong against a lot of the ways that a lot of Protoss players would like to play. That is, of course, Phoenix Immortal, where you just get a lot of Phoenix, you lift half the army, the Immortals blow the other half up, and you go from there. That is, of course, the hallmark of the Dutch player Cryptsale. So maybe there's something to that, but yeah, KingCobra, I mean, he is getting his natural now. He is at least showing some idea of wanting to go for for somewhat of a longer game, maybe slightly less cheeky of a game. But the interesting thing, by the way, is this is Oxide Vitamin, and I think this is the first PvP I've seen on Oxide in a while where we didn't have at least one player going for kind of a single gate low ground expand.
Yeah, not happening here from both players, and we see the difference in builds now paying off here. Gerald with this production off of 2 gateways will be able to pressure on here. There's an Immortal, and Gerald seems to be a bit slow on the reaction there, losing 2 of the Stalkers. Yeah, he must be surprised to see that the Immortal was out that quick. He also had to deal with the Oracle back at home. The Oracle didn't do anything really because there was a shield battery in place. And if there's a single shield battery, the Oracle won't be finding any worker kills. But losing 2 Stalkers at the front, not where you want to be at. It's especially if you're going Blink, and that is exactly what Gerald is choosing to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. You say that the Oracle's not going to find any value. Not quite. It takes 7. It's 5 or 7 damage ticks to actually kill a probe through a shield battery, because Oracle does like 23 damage. And the shield battery only heals up 20 only heals you back up to 20 every tick, because that's how many shields a probe does have. So it's close. You can kill probes through a shield battery. It's very slow, but we certainly have seen it happen on occasion. You know, full energy oracles where the player's just not paying attention. So again, possible, not likely. But behind this, yeah, Gerald, he's got his blink underway +1 as well. So he's just going into that standard idea, you know, blink +1. Cobra's not even building more air units, not really. I mean, he has double Oracle here, sure, but it's just Mass Immortals. And Mass Immortals are strong, but they age out. They're not great against charge slots or Archons or anything that really aren't Stalkers or, I guess, other Immortals.
Yeah, I think like Gerald is really just approaching this the most standard way possible. And we'll have to see how this fares against the style of KingCobra here. Certainly, as you said, once Gerald gets into these charge slots, they're going to be very strong against the Immortals, and it looks like usually with this kind of style, you're producing a couple of Void Rays, you're producing a couple of Immortals, you go up to 3 bases, you turtle, and then you transition into carriers. But KingCobra is like, I don't need Void Rays. I just need my trusty Immortals on the sky, and I'm going to go straight into carriers here. +1 researching, and man, this is I think he only has 1 gateway to produce from as well. So this is if Gerald sniffs this out and pulls the trigger, I don't see with the production that KingCobra has how he can deflect that.
Yeah, this is the other thing KingCobra's famous for. 1, he cannon rushes. 2, he goes 2-base carrier against everyone. And sometimes it works, sometimes he beats Clem 2-0, sometimes it doesn't, and he does not beat Clem 2-0. But you know what? Certainly Gerald, he's not there yet, and certainly this is, as carriers are now starting to pop on out, we do have the chance for a just a little bit longer of a game than we might have expected, because once the Protoss player hits carriers, it's going to be a little bit harder for Gerald. He is going to have to try to do that kind of mech versus, like bio versus mech idea, or really anything versus mech, where you just expand, you try to take the map, have a really mobile army, or and maybe eventually go into like a bunch of Tempests, or just have a bunch of Blink Stalkers to make that happen. Nice blink there on the stasis trap, as now Gerald's going to find his way on into the natural. And you know, there's not a lot here. We got some Immortals that are going to find their way on in, but Stalkers are going to find their way onto the high ground. And at the very least, this is a scout. He's going to say that, okay, well, I see that there are carriers underway, and I'm going to depower them because I don't like carriers. Carriers make me sad. But these Immortals, they're certainly going to be enough here to chase these Stalkers away, and that is going to be that. The stacked events, when we found the 3rd base, is going to take a significant amount of damage here, but it should not go down, I don't think. The Immortals should be able to get there in time, and, well, KingCobra's taking damage, but yeah, he should keep this 3rd base alive.
I mean, Immortals are very slow. There are more Stalkers coming in. That 3rd base is toast. That static defense completely out of position. Carriers that were already building slow as they were, delayed there even further by killing that pylon. And yeah, Gerald is really taking the advantage here. It's not like KingCobra is going to die anytime soon, because Stalkers alone will probably not break an army of Immortals and Carriers, but he's getting the appropriate leads here, and he's out expanding his opponent, which is, yeah, like you mentioned, the anything versus mech attempt. Yeah, he's following that right now, and he's doing a good job at it too.
Yeah, as I think you said, you know, he's not going to die here, but he's also not going to live here either, right? That's kind of the thing. Losing that third base is a problem. Now we have, yeah, Gerald. He's going to try to take this engagement right here, right now. Of course, we talked about this charge lot's very good against Immortals. As 2 go down immediately, that's going to be a third. The Stalker's just target firing them down. No energy left on the shield battery. The 5th Immortal will die here, and we have Archons just sitting underneath these interceptors, trying to shred as many of them as they can, but they will all go down. The Archons are now dead. And that's going to be that. These charge lots also got stasis as well. We do have that one Oracle still alive. 2 others have died in this game. So still stasis. And the third base still is alive for the time being. Although I think there enough tech was removed, as we will say one Stalker one Carrier get target fire down. Second one, shield battery overcharge will keep that alive, but an Oracle goes down as well, which means no stasis traps anymore. Nothing like that. Another Immortal dies, and Gerald is just finding so much value with this Stalker cohort here in this game number 2. And there we go. Carrier going down. There we go. Second Carrier will die.
Oh, Carrier count reduced to 1, and that's the GG here. Out